Good morning. The chief guest, Honorable Ajit Nimad Kabral, State Minister for Money and Capital Markets. Guest of honor, Mrs. Yvette Fernando, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Dr. Anil Jasinga, Secretary Minister of Environment. Dr. Chiantip Subhanij, Chief of Finance for Development UNSCAP, Bangkok, who is joining us virtually. Mr. C. Nathan from UNSCAP also joining us virtually. Mr. Kasim, Daily FT. Ms. Sevawandi, Assistant Secretary, Minister of Wildlife Conservation. Chairman and Director, Sustainable Energy Authority. Chairman and representatives of financial institutions. Directors of Wildlife Conservation. Mr. Dinaj Pirakodi, Chairman, HNB Bank and ICC Sri Lanka. EXCO members of the ICC. I would also take this opportunity to recognize Mr. Masato Abe, who introduced me to UNSCAP Sustainable Financing Program. Honored invitees from the Financial Institute of Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to make a few opening remarks and welcome all invitees who came today, in spite of the COVID pandemic, for the Conference on Sustainable Green Financing. This is a follow-up on the joint workshop ICC held with over 150 participants at the same venue in 2019. ICC Sri Lanka has a banking committee with 23 banking members resolving issues by facilitating a dialogue with the customs, imports control and other stakeholders. UCP 600 and Incoterms are ICC instruments used to facilitate trade and investment. UNSCAP was successful in facilitating the first green bond in Bhutan. Honorable Minister participated at the UNSCAP conference in Bangladesh and would have observed the ICC's international strength in networking capabilities. ICC, with its 130 branches and 48 million members around the world, can promote Sri Lanka on the world map. Honorable Minister, ICC Sri Lanka is facilitating to bring all the stakeholders together to promote a sustainable green financing for Sri Lanka, to encourage a taxonomy on sustainable finance and investments on green bonds and blue bonds by disseminating information to facilitate a conceptual framework and guidelines in promoting sustainable financing to the corporate sector. ICC Sri Lanka will encourage all relevant stakeholders in promoting green financing for sustainable recovery of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. ICC requests the government to consider a policy directive in the financial institutions to allocate a percentage of their loans portfolio for sustainable green financing. We also request the Securities and Exchanges Commission and the Colombo Stock Exchange to adopt a suitable framework to promote